So it's no secret that Nuke has been a fan favorite map in CS for a very, very long time. But despite this, there's still a lot of you that struggle with throwing utility, specifically smokes. And so for today, we're going to show off some of the most essential smokes that you should throw on Nuke to help you win more rounds. And yes, these smokes actually will help you win rounds. So to start off, I'm going to start by throwing the 3 smokes that I think you absolutely have to know for outside. This entire section that's on my screen right now is one of the most beneficial areas on the entire map to hold if you're on the T side. It opens up so many possibilities, whether you're going secret, going through mini. This allows you so much control. We're going to start off with 3 smokes. We're going to create just an absolute wall here. So all 3 of these smokes for outside are going to be from the exact same location. What you're going to want to do is come out of spawn. Look at this little wall here. You're going to want to go around the corner. So what I like to do for this smoke is I like to line myself all the way up with the edge. Really, there's not a reason to do this. It's pretty consistent if you line up just anywhere close, but I like to do it for consistency's sake. First one is going to land on top of mini to block off the back of the garage and just allow you to get somebody on top of mini very, very easily. But then you're going to want to go to this top light here. You're going to aim to the left. This is completely up to you for personal preference. Any of these smokes from like about here over to the light will land. I just like throwing mine over a little bit to the left. That way it helps out the guy that's on marshmallow. But you can throw it all the way from where my crosshair is right now all the way over to this corner of the light with no problems. And if you want an easier way to line it up, as I'm holding for the smoke lineup crosshair, you'll see this little 3 times marker at the bottom lines up pretty closely to the little railing here. So that's also just another easy way to line it up. Then you want to left click and jump throw. As you can see, even if it bounces off the top of this roof here, it'll land completely safe. It does create the same waterfall effect that we're looking for. And this one, as I said, provides more coverage to the guy on marshmallow holding outside. As you can see, there's not too much visibility here, and I just like using this to help out my teammates a little bit more. And then really, once you're on top of mini here, my favorite thing to do is you just go right through the smoke. Obviously, there's better ways to do it than what I just did, but for the sake of the video, let's make it short and sweet. You can basically jump in this entire smoke and drop into mini with the only way they know you're here being the sound cue. And it'll catch a lot of people off guard, especially if this player's on this side of the smoke here. I'm actually going to be throwing one of the outside smokes. This one is going to be one of the 2 wall smokes that we're going to be using. And these 2 I would definitely argue are just as important as the first mini smoke. What you're going to want to do here is line yourself up in the same edge of this corner again. Instead of looking to the left of the light, you're going to want to look directly on the corner of the right side of the light here. You're going to want to do the same thing, left click and jump throw. As this one lands, you'll see it perfectly bounces off of mini. Lands outside of mini though. And this will cover the first section of outside, so it blocks blue box, blocks the guy playing mini here. The only thing it doesn't block is heaven. That's just something to be aware of. Now what makes this first smoke so strong is that it pairs perfectly with the second one I'm going to be showing. Once again, you're going to want to line up in this corner here. Instead of the light though, you're going to want to aim down the edge of this little corner of the railing. And do the same thing, just jump throw. This one is going to be your second smoke for outside. This time though, it completely covers garage for the area here. The smoke you could also use is a kind of just a makeshift garage smoke. If you don't want to throw the entire wall. It's not the best because it doesn't cover this area here or close mini, but if you're trying just to block off garage, it'll do the job just fine as long as you're not peeking on the left side of this box. I didn't want to add a dedicated garage smoke to this video because I thought these 3 smokes would be much more important for the average game. But as you can see, this one works just perfectly fine. Then to show you what these smokes would look like if you threw them together. First, we'll start off with just the 2 outside smokes for the smoke wall. Once again, line up in this corner here. First one, we're going to aim at the right of the light. Jump throw. Aim down at the railing. Jump throw. As you can see as they land pretty quickly. And they cover absolutely everything that you would want for a secret rush or just to take outside control. Really, it's up to you. Once again, the only thing you have to be aware of is on top of heaven. But this will get you into secret pretty easily. Then if you wanted to see what it would look like with all 3 smokes, once again, we're going to start with aiming a little bit to the left of the light here. Once again, if you hold down and just, I like to line it up by a little 3x at the bottom. We're going to jump throw. Aim to the right of the light, jump throw. Aim at the railing, jump throw. Yeah, as you can see, this is absolutely an insane combo. I wouldn't necessarily say you need to throw all 3 of these. The waterfall smoke here is a bit redundant because your first outside smoke will cover most of what that's going to block anyways. But if you do want extra coverage for the guy dropping on top of mini, I would definitely use this. And these smokes alone will win you so many more rounds. Outside is just such a strong area to hold on T side. And if you can master these smokes, you will definitely be able to take outside a lot easier. And that in turn translates to you winning more rounds. And now just for a little bit of an extra bonus, I wasn't originally going to add this smoke to the video, but I feel like you guys might want a way to smoke off heaven. That way it's less of a problem area in your outside takes. An easy way to do this, you're going to want to run outside of spawn to the left, line yourself up in this corner. You're going to want to line yourself up and this pillar here, right where it meets this vent. So once you're here, all you're going to want to do is tap W and jump throw. Just a quick little tap like that. As you can see, bounces a few times, lands right on the edge of the railing, and it does smoke off all of heaven. So if you're worried about heaven being a problem with the 3 outside smokes, you could just throw these 2 to cover the cross and then throw the heaven smoke, and you'll have everything covered. So before I move on to the inside smokes, one thing that I want to note is that you're going to want to make sure to be breaking this glass here every single round. If you're only breaking the glass when you're throwing the smokes, it's going to become incredibly predictable and super easy to read. So just as a habit, I would just make sure you're getting into the habit of breaking this glass every single round. Then the first smoke you're going to want to throw after you break this glass is you want to go to the same spot as the heaven smoke. Then to keep the smoke easier, we're just going to count these little lines coming down the side pieces of the metal here. We're going to go over 1, 2, and just aim on the right side of the second one. Then just a simple jump throw. As you can see, this will go through the little window there. It'll drop right in front of vent. Now this one is incredibly strong to throw every single round, even if you're not going here. This kind of conditions them to worry about the vent lurk. And as long as you're breaking the door, shooting the vent, doing stuff like that, it's going to keep them aware that it's a possibility on the map. And having that even as a possibility is enough to throw them off a little bit. And that makes the smoke incredibly strong. Then a little extra bonus if you want to do this more quickly. If you're actually pushing the vent. Everybody knows to break the door, you just kind of chuck a nade in here. Break the door. A lot of people don't know that you can just do the exact same thing with a smoke after you break the door, and it'll cover your entry. My favorite way to line this up is you look at this little sign here and then just run and throw it there. It just makes it land a little bit deeper because it bounces off this corner of the wall here. As you can see, run into vents with no problems. So just a little bit of an extra here. And since we're talking about ace smokes, I'll throw the last one here. This one is going to be a pretty tricky lineup, but it does work incredibly well. It's going to land on top of these silos here. It's going to cover all of heaven, and it's going to be a waterfall to drop down onto the back of Faceit. If you already have your smoke here covering the vent and mini area to help you get out, it'll cover heaven and kind of assist with the site take a little bit more. So to throw the smoke, you're going to want to get up on the roof from spawn. Walk over to these stairs. Best way I found to line it up is you just want to jump all the way to the top. Go down the stairs, and as soon as it starts getting on an angle, it'll be the first little section piece here, the little welded bit. Then what you want to do is look at the reflection of the glass. I know this is kind of where the lineup gets a bit crazy. I'll make sure to zoom in though so you can see it too. Realistically, the smoke does have some leeway, so you can go a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, but I like putting it right in the center of the little rectangle here in the reflection. Then you're just going to right click jump throw. As you can see, the smoke goes all the way through the vents, lands on top of the silo, and covers absolutely everything. Now, although this smoke is not one that I think you have to know, it is one that's incredibly strong for your A takes. And I've noticed a lot of teams just don't know what to do when they get squeaky control, so they blow the door open, say you kill the guy mini. A lot of people just don't have a next step after that, so instead of running blindly onto site, if you know this smoke, this covers all of heaven, so you can run onto site, clear angles, makes it overall a lot easier of a time. And so I think if you can make things easier on your team, you might as well. Then for the last smoke of the video, we're going to go back outside. And this one is not an absolute must-know, but it is one that's kind of nice and I think will help a lot of you guys. This one is going to be for mini once again. So unlike before how we threw the waterfall smoke, this one is kind of one for when you're just wanting to play on the fly and just have a quick smoke. So basically all we're going to want to do is look for this little silver box here, aim up towards the wires. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. You just run through. As you can see, bounces off the wall, lands inside of mini. And this one is really nice for if you want to threaten outside control and cut off the rotate from the guy playing inside of mini watching Squeaky. It's just a very simple smoke, but I think it is one that would help out a lot of you guys, so I decided to add this one in the video. But anyways, it's enough of me yapping. I do hope you guys enjoyed these smokes that I think will, without a doubt, help you win more rounds on Nuke. And as always, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, sub down below. It always helps me out a lot, and I do always appreciate it. And make sure to leave a comment down below what map you guys want me to do next. I'll make sure to get to it. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.